This is Vigilant Liberty Radio News from Independent Journal Review for January 30th. The Federal Bureau of Investigation has just released surveillance video detailing an investigation that caught an American citizen plotting treason. Nuclear physicist Pedro Mascheroni was caught telling an undercover FBI agent posing as a Venezuelan official he could help the socialist nation obtain a nuclear warhead. Mascheroni tells the FBI agent Venezuela could test the device over the Pacific Ocean to, quote, put the U.S. on notice. Mascheroni promised to deliver the warhead within the next 10 years and even renounced his U.S. citizenship. This week, Mascheroni was sentenced to 5 years in prison, and his former employer, Los Alamos National Laboratory, where Mascheroni worked in the 1980s, has put stronger protocols in place to prevent future security breaches. On Thursday, the Senate held a cloture vote to approve the Keystone XL pipeline. The measure passed by a margin of 62 to 35 votes. 9 Democrats voted with Republicans to finish debate and effectively block any chance of a filibuster. President Obama issued a statement indicating his intent to veto any approval of the pipeline immediately after the vote. The Senate's version has 5 amendments that were tacked on during the debate process, and the House of Representatives must approve those amendments, as they differ greatly from the House bill originally sent to the Senate. 4 students from Brown Deer Middle School in Brown Deer, Wisconsin, are facing charges of first- and second-degree sexual assault of a child for allegedly recording a sex party on their cell phones. Police were called to the middle school after a student reported to staff that student had attended what was described as a sex party. While the age of the students is not being released, they are described as being in their early teens. According to Brown Deer Police Chief Michael Cass, no videos of the incident had been posted to social media. Cass also wanted to send a message that this behavior will not be tolerated. New York City Police Department has settled a lawsuit with a man who pled guilty to menacing after attacking police officers with a machete. In 2010, Ruhim Ullah was involved in an altercation with police, and when he used a machete against the officers, he was shot in the leg. Ullah pleaded guilty, but filed a $3 million suit against the city, accusing the officers of wrongdoing. Despite many witnesses who said Ullah was armed, the city settled the suit for $5,000. A spokesman for the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association is angered with the settlement, saying the city settles because it's cheaper than defending these cases in court. This settlement is part of a growing trend. During his first year in office, Mayor Bill de Blasio's administration paid out $732 million in legal costs for fiscal year 2014, an increase of 40% from previous years. This has been Amy Curtis with your Vigilant Liberty Radio News from Independent Journal Review for January 30th.
DLR.
This show is produced by IJReview.com.
This show is copyright by VLR Media. All opinions of panelists and guests are their own and may not reflect the opinion of VLR Media, the host, or anyone else. Two minds are better than one. Time for the right mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum.
Happy Friday, folks. I cannot believe that it's already Friday. Man, life flies. Weeks fly by when you're having fun. And again, welcome to the right mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. 412-567-6879 if you wish to weigh in. Also, you're either listening to us on our website, the right mic with an S.us, or on Spreaker. So you can do that either way and flip back and forth. You can also follow us on Twitter. How's them dutifully paying attention? That is at The Right Mics. And again, that is MICS. So, brother man, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I'm a little excited about the and I'm sure we're going to get to it, but I'm pretty excited about the big announcement today.
You know what? I think we need to get to it right now. And before we even say what it is, let me state now, follow along because this is not hard to do. I was wrong. Okay. You can say that too. You were not wrong about this, but I was in that I predicted something would happen that cannot happen now because of this announcement.
What's that?
I predicted that Mitt Romney would be the nominee in 2016.
You did.
I did. And of course, that cannot happen because Mitt announced this morning via, I believe, conference call to fundraisers and the like that he will not seek the nomination.
Right. I'm totally and completely shocked about this, man. I mean, truly shocked about it.
I am too, and even more so. Up until, even Zip put up a story. I think the New York Times, Daily Caller, Daily Beast, that he was going to announce to these people, and this was literally within minutes before he did announce what he was going to announce, that he was going to announce that he was going to be a candidate. That was widely reported, and then all of a sudden, update, correction, just kidding, he's announced that he's not going to be a candidate. So I don't know what that part's all about.
Yeah, you know what? I have not heard anything about that. But I just loved his comment. He said, after putting considerable thought into making another run for president, I've decided it is best to give other leaders in the party the opportunity to become our next nominee. I believe that one of our next generation of Republican leaders, one who may not be as well known as I am today, one who has not yet taken their message across the country, one who's just getting started, may well emerge as being better able to defeat the Democrat nominee. In fact, I expect and hope that to be the case.
So let's translate that last part, shall we? Beginning with the I believe that one of our next generation. Translation, Jeb Bush shouldn't be the nominee either.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right.
Yeah, just tick it off. I mean, it's exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, it has been, 12 years since Jeb Bush actually won an election? I mean, Jeb Bush is not, he's not a new fresh face for the Republican Party.
No, he's not a new fresh face. He's not one who has not yet taken their message across the country. He has. He's not one who is just getting started. And he hopes that Jeb Bush will not be the candidate either. And then, of course, he does throw in, he throws in he would look like an idiot if he changed his mind at this point. So this is maybe just semantics, but he said that it was, quote, unlikely that he'll change his mind. So I think Mitt may be riding off into the sunset, finally, going 0 for 2, not wanting to go 0 for 3, apparently.
Yeah, well, that is exactly what, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I think. And you know what? I think good for him.
Well, I don't think there's any question. And, I think we said this last week. Had he and Jeb both run, I mean, to an extent, they're kind of, twin sons of another mother, if you will. They're both moderate Republicans. Obviously they differ on immigration as an example, Common Core and the like. But kind of by and large, they're kind of the same guy, and they would be chasing a lot of the same money. And that would be a bloodbath at the top. Not that it's not going to be with him out of the race, but that would have been everybody else would have almost been off in the wings watching that happen. So. That's a good thing, unless, of course, as you and I have said multiple times on the show, where Romney, we may agree with him 60% of the time, whereas we may agree with someone like I'm just throwing a name out for example's sake, Ted Cruz, 90% or whatever have you. I would have much rather if he was the most electable guy, and he does lead in the polls, at least until as we speak, in terms on the Republican side, and has shown in several state polls to be the only guy that could beat pantsuits. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, though. I love this kind of stuff, dude. I really do.
Absolutely. I totally do. It's funny is obviously the Twitter feed is just going nuts about this, as well as Facebook. And I'd have to say that from what I can see, 100% of people are hoping that this doesn't then just allow, Bush to slide right in behind there.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm always very interested, which we'll never know in this case. And as Paul Harvey used to say, the rest of the story, like what went on behind the scenes here? Because if this guy was thinking, even a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago, that he was ultimately going to come out and say, I ain't going to do it. Then why did he do what he did? Why did he fly over the place? Why did he make the comments he made? I'm just really interested in, and even, you and I talked about that meeting, was it early last week, between Jeb and Mitt, and that kind of stuff to me, just if nothing else, just to speculate on, like what went on behind the scenes to bring us to what he surprisingly announced today, when many people thought within minutes before he made the announcement that he was going to tell the donors he was going to run.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think there's a lot of people upset about this then?
I don't know. I would guess not. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to slit their wrist or throw themselves off a building over it, because I think that in a lot of cases with Romney, I think we saw that in 2012 and in his previous run, it's soft support. He's kind of been like the comfortable default guy. I don't think there was ever a lot of fire between him, for him. And I believe that that now will all just transfer to Jeb. So now I don't. You know what? I really don't.
Well, that's good then.
Yeah, but it's fascinating stuff.
It is fascinating stuff.
So speaking of presidential politics, you sent me a link. Rand Paul, up to his kind of tricks. He's been doing some of this stuff lately, but this is pretty funny. What's going on there?
Oh my gosh, this I absolutely love. Now, in the context of presidential politics, we'll talk about Rand as a presidential candidate after this.
Right.
But what he did is Rand Paul's political organization, Rand PAC, Political Action Committee, they put together a fake phone call between Jeb Bush and Hillary Clinton.
That is just hilarious.
It is absolutely perfect. Jess, why don't you go ahead and play that?
Hello?
Hey, Hill, it's Jeb.
Hey, Jeb. No, Bill, it's Jeb. To what do I owe this pleasure?
Well, it's true. I'm thinking about running for president.
Well, Jeb, so am I.
I just wanted to call and give you a heads up in hopes we could work something out.
What do you mean, Jeb? It's clearly my turn. Bush, Clinton, Bush, now Clinton.
Well, Hillary, there hasn't been a Republican White House without a Bush since 1977. And we're ready to be back.
Let me shoot straight with you, Jeb. Okay, Bill and I are dead broke. We need a place to stay. 1600 Pennsylvania Ave, it's calling me home. I've still got the back door key. And being president's going to offer me a lot more job security than, having to write another memoir. Jeez.
Well, the Bushes have weathered attacks before. And read my lips, Hillary, we're not backing down this time.
Okay, on second thought, maybe we can work something out. We both agree on so many issues. Bigger government, Common Core, and amnesty for illegal immigrants.
Well, we've both got problems. You've got problems with the grassroots, and I've got all those damn conservatives. What say we make a deal? Sorry, Hillary, I have to go. Mitt keeps calling.
Oh, for crying out loud.
That's hilarious. You know what? The Jeb character, yeah, not so much, but whoever did Hillary, that was spot on. I mean, that sounded like pantsuits.
It's a extra